Phantom Punch Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
we are back.
The moment we all been waiting for.
We have?
Yeah, man. Big fights this weekend. Big fights, baby.
Oh my God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do the intro bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 51 of the Phantom Punch Podcast. I am Johnny Southpaw here with my guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Apollo Ali in the building.
Yes, sir. We are back at it. We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, tuning in with us here.
More
YouTube,
gentlemen and ladies.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you stream us through. Maybe you're just on Spotify or iTunes or whatever, maybe you're only listening to us. Either way, we appreciate you being here with us. I'm going to be honest here. Let's open this with honesty. First and foremost, before we even dive into this is going to be a Apollo Ali driven podcast, because if you are watching, you see your boy. I'm a little tan. I got a little toasty. I've been out and about. I don't have much for you, ladies and gentlemen.
I want y'all to keep in mind the excuses being made right here.
Here you go.
Performances. Excuses, man. So when y'all be seeing us 2 weeks, 3 weeks off,
it's facts. I'm not gonna lie. I won't even be mad. It's family vacation weekend, and I was on a boat. So whatever.
That's fly. Glad you enjoyed yourself. Now back to business.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we're back to business. Yeah, man. Well, first and foremost, how was your weekend? How was your weekend? We're in the middle of the week, I think, already. So how were you?
Yeah, I mean, mine obviously wasn't as eventful as yours this week. That was last week for me, but it was cool. It was smooth. Eased right on this in the Sunday to watch. The biggest fights of the year happened, man. That's how my week went.
Yo, how many people I think this is the biggest thing in boxing right now? Is just it's beyond me. It is nuts.
It is.
It is nuts, or is
no. It's the biggest thing in boxing. That was the second highest pay-per-view of the year. The first was his brother. I mean, with my guy, of course.
Well,
but
of course,
I'm saying that was the second biggest pay-per-view of the year, bro. So it's a big deal in boxing, man, or whatever we want to call this hybrid version of the Sweet Science.
Whatever you want to call it, man. I'm glad your weekend was good. I guess we have no other place to start than...
No further ado. Let's get into it.
We didn't even talk. First of all, I know that we just trying to catch... we're trying to jump on the train here. We're jumping on the wave with all of the Jake Paul talk and all of that. But I just want to point out a simple fact that we didn't even bring this up, that this was happening next week or this past weekend.
Hey, man.
We didn't bring it up. That's how much it mattered to me. That's how I'm just going to
that's your fault. You didn't put it in the notes, man. You the one with the docket.
I think I purposely left it out because I really... I don't care. I didn't care. I still don't care. I don't care.
I mean, you're going to be forced to. Either you're going to learn to like it.
He already retired, bro. He already retired. Like, we'll get into it. So the biggest fight that happened this past weekend, I guess, if you want to call it that, is the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley event on Showtime. Showbox. Showtime pay-per-view? Was it pay-per-view?
Yep.
Ugh, disgusting.
Yep. Gross. Second biggest pay-per-view of the year.
I know a few of you motherfuckers pay for that shit. And I don't want to call out any names, but I saw some of y'all posting about it. I love you, most of you.
Yeah, well, my stream held me down, so
y'all are disgusting.
I ain't paid nothing for it.
Anybody who paid
salute
for
to you that did, because I'm sure that helps.
Took one for the team.
You know what I mean? Amanda Serrano's and the Montana Loves and the other people that, were a part of it. But
I see what you did there.
You know what I'm saying?
You appeal to my good nature for the Serrano sisters. So yes, right. Cheers to the Serrano sisters. I hope they got paid. Well, Amanda Serrano, I hope she got paid. Mm-hmm. And every other, up and coming fighter on there. I guess we should open up the conversation with I don't know what, Tommy Fury. A little cousin, little brother, what is he? What is Tommy Fury to Tyson Fury?
I don't know.
Cousin?
I don't know.
Distant relative of some sort?
I honestly, I'm not sure. Yeah,
they do not even. First of all, Tommy Fury has my complexion: dark hair, dark eyes, dark skin features, and Tyson Fury looks.
Wait, did you just call yourself dark skin, son?
First of all, you see this tan, bro? I just want to point it out. I worked on this all weekend.
This is what I deal with.
I worked on this all weekend. All right, so he's between like yours and my skin complexion. You see this? Look, see that's tan, and that's Tyson Fury, Tommy Fury.
You're putting yourself in a place. You're going down the road. I don't want to go with you, man.
All right, man. But Tommy Fury, I honestly, he's like 4-0. I know that he's. I honestly don't know anything about the kid. I do my best not to pay attention to these folks, but I know he has fought before. He's got a fighter's physique for somewhat, I guess. But he fought some kid. Who did he fight?
I didn't see that fight.
Oh, okay.
That must have been the early.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Fan and Punch podcast.
My stream didn't clock in until Montana Love.
Okay.
Shout out to Montana Love.
Okay.
And he fought Ivan, one of them.
Something. Yeah. I did see that fight.
That's where I started at.
I got a few text messages, and I'm going to be honest. I literally was in the middle of like the ocean trying to not pay attention to these fights. But I did get some texts. I did get some phone calls about it. Like, yo, who should I bet on this? Whatever. Random text message conversations about it. But I heard the most of the good feedback I heard about the card was from Montana Love or about Montana Love. I'll be honest, I don't know this kid that much, but I watched the highlights of what happened afterwards. I thought they were very entertaining, and I heard it was a close fight up until.
It was a good fight. It was a good, It was back and forth action. Montana Love had to face a bit of adversity. You know what I'm saying? He was in his hometown too, I believe, from Cleveland.
Okay.
It was a big deal. He took some shots, bro. I can't remember how to pronounce the dude's name. Ivan something or other.
Yeah, his opponent. Got
from
it.
Across the pond.
Right.
He hit him with some hard shots, man. I saw his neck snap back quite a few times, and he recovered well, and got the TKO, man. I mean, can't beat that in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, absolutely, and shout out to him. I mean, I know that now. I know his name, and now I've seen him get shouted out by quite a few people. So
he got some disrespect from I don't know who the panel. I forget who they were, but they don't have the quintessential commentators on these Jake Paul event. You know what I mean? So whoever the guys was that was commentating said, I'm betting on the Ivan guy because this Montana Love guy sounds like a porn star's name. And I thought that was like some crazy shit to say about a fighter entering the ring, about to put his life on the line. I mean,
wait, so is Montana Love related to Jay Leon? I honestly don't know.
Good question. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I'm not sure. So, but I can see the correlation. I can see.
I just thought that was disrespectful.
Very much so.
And unprofessional.
Very much so.
This is a Jake Paul event.
It's a Jake Paul event. Also,
I guess that's part of the course.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we can come to expect for these type of events.
And I get it, but I get it in a way, but I still don't. I don't agree with it.
Not to open up a big ass conversation, I feel like we could get into this when we talk about Jake Paul, but remind me when we get there after we touch base on the next one. I saw someone tweet out from the Twitter sphere, ask the question if they think, or if the general public thinks that Showtime is watering down their product, their Showbox product, with hosting these kind of fights. I thought that was a very interesting topic of conversation. We don't have to answer it now because I know we got to get to Amanda Serrano.
Okay.
But I just something to think about. Think about that before we get to that. Before we get to the Jake Paul fight. Mm-hmm. And then after the Montana Love, after Montana Love scored the TKO, we get right into the co-main event.
No. Heavyweights fought. What's his name? Du Bois.
Oh, Daniel Dubois. That's right.
Yep. Daniel Dubois.
Okay, I forgot about that.
Yep, his American debut.
Yes,
23 years old.
He won in the first round, right?
Yep, knockout, TKO. I forget the other.
I don't know. I forget his opponent's name too.
I know he was 19. I know he was 19-3, I believe, before taking that loss, and that was his first time being dropped as well.
Good shit, man. Hey, look,
yeah, it was that's a great way to step into America as a overseas fighter,
right?
And come make your debut. That's a great way to do it.
I'm sure there was
point down.
There was tons of eyes by that point because he was I guess that was the
right before Amanda Serrano.
Yeah, right before Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano took on Yamieth. I don't know how to say her first name. Mercado. Yamieth or Yemieth Mercado.
Before we get to that though, I want to just quick. The emergence of the reemergence, because I mean we got like the great Lennox Lewis, the Klitschko brothers, but the reemergence of the great heavyweight. Well, he's yet to be determined if he'll be great, but we've got great heavyweight fighters from overseas, man. And here comes another one. Well, what do you think about that? Where are the American bred, born, trained heavyweight killers?
There's a couple of them. The kid, I like the kid Jared Anderson, Jared Big Baby Anderson. I think he's a good fighter. He's a little bit on the smaller side.
Okay, so let me clarify.
Oh boy, okay.
By what I mean by that, where are the great American heavyweight killers? What I mean by that is not just Americans that fight in heavyweight. I mean the ones that we've always had, that the fighters from overseas measure themselves up against.
That's fair.
It's the other way around right now.
Look, listen, man. All right, so I'm going to ask you a question here. What do you consider Andy Ruiz to be?
The first Mexican American champion.
Well, that's my point then. So I think we have them, but
all right, where the black fighters at, man? That's what you want me to say.
Jared Anderson's black, bro.
No, I mean, all right. So you feel like he got what it takes to get Anthony Joshua out of here, Tyson Fury out of here? That shouldn't be a question.
That remains to be seen.
Where are those guys at? That's what I'm talking about.
Listen, you got Deontay Wilder, Michael Coffey, who just took a loss, but is a great fighter. You have, like I said, Jared Anderson.
Yeah.
And all right, so that's three black dudes right there. Those are the best.
I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit, man. I'm just saying.
That's I got.
I'm just saying. Overseas, man, they popping up like left and right.
That is very true, though. They're the kid who
looking formidable too.
One of the biggest standouts from the Olympics was from, I think he's from the UK, and he was a heavyweight. I'm pretty sure he was a UK kid. I remember he had curly hair. I forget his name, but one of the standouts from the heavyweights in the Olympics, like I said, is I think it might be from the UK too. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. I don't know, but either way,
you know what it is.
That's a good question. It's a fair question.
You know what it is, and it could be like just getting to the prominent level to where everything that you embody as a heavyweight champion or a heavyweight contender is on display. And maybe we haven't gotten there yet, but it's like the UK fighters. It's just too nice. Come across. Polite. I need the American bad guy, man. Like I need the black American. I mean, Deontay is trying to embody that at this point because he realized he's the heel and he's playing into that. We still need that. If this fight happens and does what he does what he needs to do, I'll rest my case on everything I'm saying right now. But I'm itching for that heavyweight drama. You know what I'm saying? And I need to see that shit. I need it like now. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. I like that. That's a fair point.
I just need it, bro.
It's a fair point. There's no.
It don't feel right out here. It's
the black American heavyweight.
I don't want my heavyweight champion to be nice.
A swell guy. You don't want to be a swell guy.
I don't want to mate. No disrespect. I mean, salute to the UK and all that. But
I got you. I'm with you.
I need a brother from the turf, man.
Listen, I'm with you. And all right. So, in all honesty, I mean, again, this makes conversations way too deep than it needs to be. But what is more lucrative? Like, what's more lucrative these days? Where are those athletes these days?
What, being a nice guy or the not nice guy?
No. I mean, not even necessarily like the personality. I just mean, where is the most lucrative sport? Like before, boxing was everywhere. That's what people talked about. That's what like these guys like Ali, Frazier, Foreman, they all made boxing what it is.
The covenant crown of the heavyweight championship title.
Exactly. And then we get these massive like athletes. And they go to other sports, bro. They're in boxing. They're not in boxing. They're in basketball. They're in football. They're in a lot of.
What would LeBron James look like in the square circle?
Oh my god! If LeBron trained, like we're not taking, we're this is a alternate universe,
right?
But like if LeBron could be a phenomenal fighter.
I don't think there's nothing he can't do that requires a human body.
Exactly.
If it requires a human body, he can do it the best.
Bro, there's basketball players are legit built like they are probably would make some of the best built fighters. Like I could imagine some of these guys, the way that they're built these days, like they have a good strong base with their legs, lots of like, just wherewithal up here. You know what I mean? To take like a lot of abuse up here because that's what basketball players are getting these days. Like there's a lot of athletes out there, I think, that are in other sports that could have potentially have been the heavyweight champions that we never, knew.
Well, you know what's funny about this? None of this seems far-fetched in 2021. So a trained LeBron James versus Tyson Fury, what happens? A trained LeBron James versus Deontay Wilder, what happens?
I don't know. It's all good questions. That's all good questions. I'm not giving any answers because I don't know. Because I'll get fried online talking about.
We live in that world right now, though.
But look, listen, hey, I'm with you. I think maybe not LeBron, but there are a few other athletes
just throwing him out there.
Other athletes out there that I could see that may throw their hat into the hey, let me make
a trained Greek freak. He was just in the WWF ring like the other week ago. He was out there with the wrestling.
That's what I'm saying. Like these guys are like, I think boxers have, I'm sorry, basketball players have the best build to like transition into boxing.
I don't know anybody that will want to deal with a Greek freak jab all night.
Hell no. That's a big boy, man. Yo, that's a big dude.
His arms is already down to his ankles.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know anybody that will want to deal with that.
But look, maybe not those guys. I think there's a B level of basketball player that would that would take on the Jake Paul like road and hey, let me make a quick $64 million or whatever have you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I never say never. In this, I mean that leads us to the main event. Never say never. Never say never about any of this.
Anything's possible. Kevin Garnett trained.
Oh my God.
And in the ring. Who want to deal with that dog?
No. Nobody. Ben Wallace? No, I'm good. There's so many names you could throw out just that are.
Got to throw Meta World Peace in the hat, man.
Exactly. Meta World Peace in the hat.
What do he look like in the square circle?
I don't know, bro. There's a ton of names that we could throw out there that I think would cause problems if boxing was their sport.
Well, want to know something that's funny? And this is a random fact, but two people that actually do train boxing and from my knowledge have been training boxing for like the past 15, 20 years. Names you wouldn't guess I'm about to say. And I would love to see them in the ring against somebody.
Oh, God. Lil Uzi Vert?
Nope.
I saw that video.
Nope. Eminem.
What?
And R. Kelly. Son, I've heard stories about R. Kelly. I heard R. Kelly is dead nice, son. No bullshit. I know that's random as hell to say. You might have to bleep his name out.
We gonna get
whatever. But that. Nah, I've really heard he's dead nice on some boxing shit, son. Like he been doing that shit since the 90s training.
And Eminem.
I've heard similar things.
I would have never pictured Eminem.
That's the workouts he like to do. He like to box.
R. Kelly, I could see like I can.
Son, I heard he was dead nice, bro.
That's crazy. What if R. Kelly takes on like the
he might be in there doing on his hurricane style right now.
Hurricane shit, yo.
What movie? Imagine watching that movie, nigga.
Oh my God, yo, that's
a hell of a second act.
I don't ever want to see that. I'll be honest. I don't think he'll ever recover.
I'd watch it. Fuck you. I'd watch it. I'd watch that shit.
Look, listen, man. All right, let's get everything back on track. I
didn't know we got off track. This shit so correlates to me.
Listen, I got to get it back to Amanda Serrano. I got to get it back to.
Oh yeah, we got to get there. We got to get there.
Amanda Serrano defending her WBC title against Yamieth Mercado. The co-main event.
Co-main event. That was dope, man. I want to salute them for doing that and making them the co-main event. That was dope. It was a great fight. How do you feel about it?
I think, and I said it before. I said it was the last episode of the episode before. This makes me a person who's able to stand, I guess, and able to
support what he's doing.
Able to support Jake Paul up
for
until
the bigger cause.
Yes, right. For the greater cause of the sport. The fact that he made sure that Amanda Serrano was going to be his co-main event.
Yeah.
She would get paid like a co-main event.
Yeah.
She would get the airtime, the start time as a co-main event. I think it's a beautiful thing. I'd love to see that she went eight or no, it wasn't 8 rounds. How many rounds was it? I don't know. Again,
their fight
on a boat.
I thought it was 12.
Okay, maybe it was 12 rounds. I know it was a championship fight. So let's just say it was a championship fight, 12 rounds, 2 minutes each. And Amanda
which I hate, by the way. I think that's going to have to change sooner than later. I feel like that pot is boiling over. Side note. But
bro, for real. So I had this. This is a conversation for later, but I watched the Christy Martin doc that we talked about.
Oh, you did? Oh, yes. and shout out to Amanda Serrano, too. She's apparently two knockouts away from tying or beating Christy Martin's knockout. Yeah, Christy Martin holds the title for women's knockouts.
Yep.
So
and
she's 2 away. She was trying to go for it on that fight. She didn't get it in his last outing, but she's well on her way.
That is crazy. I didn't know that. Now, apparently, and again, I'll bring up the Christy Martin doc again, but
that shit was crazy.
That was.
We can quickly, discuss that. That shit was.
That was wild. No,
I had no idea.
Bro, I watched it and I was having conversation during.
Still couldn't believe it. Like I didn't know she was stabbed and then shot and then had to escape and then came back to boxing after that. Attempted what the fuck?
Stabbed 4 times, gun butted once, shot another time, basically at point blank range.
Literally at point blank range, like in the crib, in the room.
Took herself out the crib, came back, fought, had a stroke, and still alive to tell her fucking story, bro.
She needs to drop a rap album.
Fam.
Right now.
Tell me she's not that's not one of the most grittiest stories I've ever heard in my entire life. This is
it was a hell of a boxing story. And just for her just being who she was and even how she looked, the way she presented herself, it's like a dichotomy of things. A whole lot is happening.
For real.
And you just got to salute her. Like, the fact that, she married her trainer.
While still being like, that's not her. Wasn't her naturally. And she.
The whole LGBTQ plight she had to deal with that. And even using that against other fighters as a woman. And then ended up getting with that girl that you embarrassed the most about being gay. That whole shit was crazy. I think that's the first time I ever said gay on this microphone, and I want to salute that. I'm glad that we're expanding our conversations and getting down to the real topics in the world today. But that was crazy, and the fact that she even got with her after humiliating her in front of the world for being gay. When you were secretly gay. Her story is crazy.
Yo,
and then the fact that your husband, who was your trainer, but treats you like you're a fighter and not your husband, allows you to go fight Layla Ali and get punished. Yeah, so John's fucking up once again. We had technical difficulties. I forget what I was saying to y'all, but I just wanted to salute Christy Martin. The things I did know about you, I already respected. The things I didn't know about you and your story took it to a whole nother level. If you haven't gotten a chance to check out that documentary, make sure y'all check that out. 100%. Oh, but the last thing I was saying was the fact that her husband was her trainer and did not have any kind of remorse or, care for her to even toss her in the ring with Layla Ali and for her to get punished the way she was punished by the bigger Layla Ali. That loss, whatever the case, that's a cliff note on her whole story. He could have threw the towel in on that fight and saved her from some punishment she took, but the fact that he didn't, I guess that led to all of the things that occurred later on. She dealt between them, man. But she dealt with
so much, bro, and much respect to her. I didn't know anything about her story, really. I guess. I thought I did. I thought I'm watching it.
Yeah, what you didn't know, you thought that's what it was, but it's way deeper than that.
I'm
all of that
watching
stuff
it.
I never knew, bro.
When I watched the doc, I'm like, yo, I remember this like when I was a kid, like in the 90s, all this stuff. Like, I remember watching it, I remember experiencing it, but I don't remember any of this shit. And then, like, the fact that these dates came out, like they updated you with the dates, like when shit happened, and she was shot. She was like, this whole thing went down in like 2012, bro.
Yeah, it's recent.
What?
It's recent.
Like, that's not that far away.
Right. Where was I? What was I doing? Like,
right, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, man, like you said, much respect to Christy Martin. If you haven't had a chance, please check out that documentary if you're a boxing fan.
Yeah. Salute to her. Salute the women's boxing as a whole, man. It's come a long way from her to now to Clarissa Shields and the Serrano sisters, and
bro, that transitions. That transitions into the Serrano sisters, and like you said, Clarissa, and it is seeing what women's boxing was then and seeing what women's boxing is now, like as we're in the midst of like the transition of women's boxing, right? We have the superstars of the sport who are arguably untouchable, like Clarissa, like, I mean, Layla Ali's a different, you know what I mean? We've had this whole conversation before, but Clarissa Shields, multi-gold medalist, Michaela Mayer, even the Serrano sisters, and a lot of these other women in the sport, and just seeing what they're doing and co-main event, you know what I mean? Like on this massive pay-per-view, good for her, man. That's all I can say. Much respect.
It's a great thing. And even with the strides that have been made, still a long way to go.
Yeah, we're still not there yet. Yeah.
It's still not there yet. There's no reason that Clarissa Shields should be looking to do MMA to try to achieve, whether it's just, the glory that she wants to get from the sport or from the people, or the financial freedom she's looking for. It's no reason she should have to go across the street to do that. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, it's still
maybe
small
it's on the horizon.
Maybe small steps in the right direction.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. But shout out to Amanda Serrano. She did retain her title. She got the victory. Absolutely. Got the win, got the victory, fought in Concords. So like, you know what I mean? I don't know if you noticed that. I see that was one of the highlights.
Yeah. But I want to give a shout out to Mercado too, though, man, because she was tough, bro.
She came to fight.
She took punishment in there, and she never quit, never backed down. I mean, she took some punishment in there, and she gave out what she could, and I appreciate the fight the effort she put forth. And I mean, she knew she couldn't win the fight.
The 2-minute round thing is definitely still an issue.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if she had an extra minute to work.
Right. I mean, that changes the whole entire dynamic of the fight. Maybe
an extra 12 minutes to work. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I still think that needs to change in boxing. We hope that happens at some point in time. We've talked about it on this podcast before.
Well, I mean, again, it's like I said, it's also a gift and a curse, because I do love the fact that when you see a women's boxing match, it's only 2 minutes in the round, and they come out and they get right to it. It's not a whole lot of, posturing. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that about the art of women's boxing, but at the same time, I feel like they should be equally awarded and allotted the amount of time needed to really, put this stuff together.
Yeah, I agree. I look forward to the future of women's boxing, man. I love to see Clarissa back in the ring.
Yeah,
I always look forward to Michaela Mayer and
a bunch
of Katie Taylor and all this stuff. So
we know.
I like. That's a different topic of conversation. I would love to get into that, but I also don't want to get, I don't want to
kicked out of where you at.
Yeah, kicked out, get crushed, get canceled, all of that stuff. Right. But yeah, man, that leads us to the man, the myth, the legend, the savior of boxing, Jake Paul.
What can you say bad about the guy, man?
Lots of things. Lots of things.
What can you say bad about him?
Jake Paul taking on Tyrone Woodley.
Another victory.
Again.
He's undefeated.
I don't know shit about shit, bro. That's all I maintain, is that I don't know shit about shit. You
would think Tyrone Woodley would beat his ass, right? You would think. I mean, he looks formidable. He looks, he's got history.
Got the pedigree.
He's got a resume.
Right.
Yeah, he's been doing this combat sports for however long. But I was having this conversation with my brother Chris too. After the fight, it was just, bro, the more and more they do these cross-contaminated fights, the more and more they do these spectacle events of just put a lion and a tiger in a cage and see what happens type of shit. You know what I'm saying? The more you can tell that it's called the sweet science for a reason, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. All of the other fighting styles, I don't care if you're from Wu-Tang, Shaolin, you know what I mean? Krav Maga, whatever that shit's called. You know what I mean? Karate, Muay Thai, all that. I don't care. You just don't look comfortable in the boxing ring. You can know whatever you need to know, but when you get in that boxing ring, do you know how to cut the ring off? Do you know how to, you know what I mean, have ring general shit, how to get to the dude in a boxing ring as opposed to whatever you might be dealing with in the dojo and wherever else you are, you know what I'm saying? Because you can be amazing at that. But when you step in the ring, a lot of y'all look sloppy, man. A lot of y'all look like you never fought in your life and you've been fighting all your life. That makes no sense.
Yep.
It's the sweet science, man. Boxing is just something different, man. It's something different.
I have always been hesitant to say that and to make that the statement I'm trying to make on the podcast because I have a lot of friends that are MMA fighters. There's a handful. There was a couple MMA fighters at my wedding party, for Christ's sake.
Like, no, mind you, this has nothing to do with what they do in the cage.
Again,
what they do in the cage is great.
100%. But we got to start being honest here. And that's kind of what I've been telling people when they ask me about this, the same exact thing that you just said. Like,
yeah,
I don't know how else to say it except for boxing is boxing.
The sweet science, man,
is MMA.
I mean, listen, it's guys. I'll throw my hat in the ring as well, included. But it's guys in TKO gym right now that just come work out, they just train, that would never look the way these guys are looking in the rings with the Jake Paul brothers.
And it's crazy to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. When I see certain things, like you can literally just watch. Like I can watch Jake and Logan and just whomever. Like
they make a ton of mistakes.
Right, exactly. You can, if you are familiar with the sport of boxing, you can see the mistakes they're making blatantly. You can see.
Yeah, but what's so bad about that is that the opponents that they're fighting are fighters and they're not capitalizing on barely any of this. That
is troublesome, and it does make it troublesome, and it does
it makes you question what's really going on at the same time too.
Right, I'm with you. It makes it. There's multiple questions. If you want to get into the conspiracy kind of side of things,
yeah, I mean, what MMA fighter wouldn't want to take this bag because they've never gotten a bag like this in their life,
right?
Fighting for all their life, so go here and take this L and get this dub. You know what I'm saying?
Right. There's
that's a line of conversation too, but
there's that aspect of it, and there's also the other aspect like that makes it come into question and questions a lot of MMA fighters' boxing ability. A lot of these guys, they have to worry about different things that boxers don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about in boxing. You don't have to worry about anything
rear naked choke,
right?
Anything like that.
Well, you don't have to worry about getting kicked. Just simple shit. Simple shit. You don't have to worry about checking a kick. You have to worry about keeping your hands here and movement. And when you are square, as MMA fighters tend to be, it's literally the opposite of boxing.
Yeah,
your lateral movement, it goes the fuck out the window. You can't move left to right, change angles, and all of that stuff. Right? That's almost impossible.
And you know what? It's great.
That do it.
You would think like okay, for the casual fighter, I mean the casual fan watching, you would think that the attacks that could potentially happen to me, MMA fighter, well trained and versed in many different styles, if I can limit my opponent's ability to attack, it would make things easier for me.
Sure.
Like the casual fan would think, oh, if you only got to worry about fists coming at you, this should be easy because you worried about everything coming at you regularly. Now you know it's not coming, but it really doesn't work that way. It's not like these problems aren't here, so these problems are smaller. Now it's new problems because, like you say, lateral movement and things of that nature, it don't come second nature to MMA fighters, man.
Right.
I mean, we haven't seen it yet.
100%. I mean, it just is mind-boggling to me how we can. The conversations I keep having from MMA folks, from casuals, never a boxing person, never like a strict boxing fan, boxing trainer, boxing fighter, whatever whatever you want to call it. Never from boxing, but always from casual and from the MMA side is. You have to give this kid credit. You have to give Jake Paul credit because of this. You should give Jake Paul credit because of that. Like, he fought Tyrone Woodley. He fought Ben Askren. Like, he fought these guys who are actual fighters and this, that, and the third. And at some point, it's like, I mean, I've said it before to other people, like, no, I don't. Because personally, and I'm, again, on the grander scale of boxing and MMA and all of the fight sports, I'm here. Like, amateur for X amount of time and whatever have you. And training with local guys and people in South Jersey, for Christ's sake. Like, it's not even like anything, crazy. Right. But even in my little small experience, MMA, Muay Thai fighters don't have the same movement. They don't think the same way in the ring as boxers think in the ring. And so at that, on a grander scale, is the same shit. It's just, I'm just seeing the same shit. This kid, Jake Paul, trains boxing. He trains his lateral movement, try and move around, this, that, and the third, and stick his jab, all of this stuff. I can see it. Like, I watched the highlights. I watched like large parts of the fight. I didn't watch the whole thing in totality, but like, I was watching him and I'm like, okay, this kid is definitely getting trained by boxers. See that Tyrone Woodley is an MMA fighter who's looking for like the overhand right.
Did you see him try to do a Superman punch? Yeah, he tried to do one under the joint.
Like, I always say that, and I will always say that until the day I die. I've never been punched in the face with a Superman punch, and I will never in my entire existence ever get hit in the face with a Superman punch. No way.
I second that.
Good fucking luck.
I second that. That.
I'm a grown ass man. You're not about to do that to me. Get the fuck out of here. No way.
It's a Street Fighter move.
Exactly, bro.
But I mean, even the mentality behind thinking that that's something to do, or that's acceptable, or that's the move you want to go for to inflict pain upon somebody else, shows you it's the level of where they see the hands as weapons, as far as punches go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to do. That's not the way to knock somebody out. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't know what that is.
Like, him throwing the and don't get me wrong, Tyrone Woodley landed that overhand. I think it was
he caught him with some good shit.
Yeah, he landed a couple good shots, and not for nothing, Jake Paul was held up by the ropes, and by any stretch of the imagination, that should have been a knockdown. Like, he did hit him into the ropes. The ropes are what held him up. The ref should have called that, gave him a standing 8 count. That, again, that doesn't happen in boxing, but anymore, anyways. But it should have been a knockdown. Don't get me wrong. I give Tyrone Woodley credit for that. But at the same time, I'm watching the highlights. I'm watching the, you know what I mean? All the stuff that's online right now. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's just an MMA fighter trying to box a boxer. Like, that's just what it is. And even amateurs, even like 18, 19-year-old amateurs right now, they give most of MMA fighters the business. If it's just boxing, you're getting the business. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just different, man.
They're different sports. And
totally,
there's nothing wrong with that.
And again, like I said, there's no disrespect to my MMA fighters, MMA community. When I'm out in public, I always keep my eyes on those with the cauliflower ears, man. I know what time it is, man.
I want them on my side. I want them on my side, bro.
Yeah, I'd rather you be on my side, but I'm on you.
Exactly. No, I'm with you.
I'm on you.
They're just,
you know what I'm saying? I know, man. Salute that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to getting in the ring, it just doesn't equate, man.
It doesn't. And so,
gotta be honest about it.
If Jake Paul continues to go down this road where he fights MMA fighters, where he fights,
it means nothing.
Slightly washed up MMA fighters or completely washed up MMA fighters.
Right.
Listen, he's going to keep getting these bags and he's going to keep bringing home these W's. And that's that. That is the end of discussion. And I hope for his sake that he does. Because again, there are some 19, 20-year-olds that are, close to his weight that would
punish him.
That would absolutely hurt that kid. Because he makes all of the green mistakes. He makes all the amateur mistakes that everybody makes when you first start. When you throw a punch, you bring it down to your chest. You don't bring it back to your face.
Right.
When you swing when you're throwing a hook, it just comes from the fucking all the way out here. Or you throw an uppercut and it comes from the floor.
Yeah, he tried one. It almost landed it too. And even the fact that
that's what I'm saying, bro. It's just
punch came from South Dakota somewhere.
I can't. And that's the point. Like, if anybody's watched boxing, if you're a boxing fan, you can see the mistakes. You can see he's green. You can see he doesn't belong in there with a boxer. But as long as he keeps getting in with MMA fighters, he will keep taking these W's. He will keep being the face of boxing.
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
That's all I got, man. I didn't watch
like
it.
I said, neither here nor there. I mean, you got to salute the fact that he's getting rich off boxing.
And
Whether he's a boxer or not, he's getting rich off boxing, and he's doing something good with that. But like we said, giving fighters that are actual fighters a light that they aren't getting for whatever reason from these other promotional companies. I saw a Red's tweet while the fight was on. He's like, man, y'all promotional companies better step your money up, or Triller's going to take all the fighters. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't like to see that, because I don't necessarily fully believe in whatever Triller is doing when it comes to the sport of boxing. You know what I mean? I don't see Triller replacing, for me, Showtime or HBO boxing, you know what I'm saying? Or even at this point, compared to the Zone, I don't see Triller, like that's a whole nother branch, you know what I'm saying? And I would hate to see the whole boxing community migrate there, trying to get to the bag and water down the sport totally, you know what I mean? But
I agree. I mean, I think maybe we come from a doing a little self-reflecting, but I think we come from a little bit more of like an old school kind of mentality where we want.
I want a true school, man. Let's cut the old out. True school.
We want our boxing served how we want it served to us and handed to us. You know what I mean? Like that's how we look at it. I look at it the same way. I'm with you. Don't get me wrong. But maybe, maybe these kids come up with their own lane of shit, like just like they do with everything else. Maybe there's, this kid came from nowhere, bro. He's a fucking Disney star. He came from Disney to YouTube and making YouTube super fucking.
You know what I don't like?
I'm just saying.
You know what I don't like? And this is a hot take. What?
We sound like old.
No. Now that I think about it, I don't like that shit like this only happens to people like us.
Meaning,
I mean, where do you want to start? Analogy, hip hop. It gets infiltrated and gets used, recreated, and sold back to us from people that took it from us. Same thing going on with boxing. Like, we can just come and we can do whatever we want.
You can go back.
But my point. I'm making it. You said we sound like old men. I'm trying to keep it relevant. But you never see that happen in golf. You don't see golf being made a spectacle. You don't see the U.S. Open being made a spectacle. You don't see tennis. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just go in there and do what you want and rape the sport and besmudge the names of the Hall of Famers that have actually put the work in to build what this establishment is. You don't see that happen in stuff like that. Just when it's shit like us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fucking with that. I'm not fucking with it.
Hey, look, there was the pre.
Go do this shit in golf, man. Fuck out of here.
I actually would love to see that in golf. I don't want, not that I watch golf, but it would be entertaining to catch on ESPN. But I agree with you. I think and Tyron Woodley even called that out. And much respect to him, man. He called a spade, bro. He basically said it to him. Like there was a pre-fight press conference pre-fight face-off thing, and he was saying how many people how many people in your neighborhood actually wore chain, or how many people in your neighborhood
dress like the way you do and shit.
Dress the way you do. How many rap videos have you watched?
Yeah.
Jake Paul's like,
this is your whole life, yeah.
Exactly, bro. Yeah. I'm with you 100%.
Cultural appropriation, man.
It is a culture vulture type.
But and see, that's when you do sneaky little you can't say that about me because I helped Amanda Serrano out and I'm helping Montana Love out and I'm helping, you know what I mean? While you still doing whatever you're doing, like you showing us this and behind your back doing all of that, you know what I mean? To get there, like, so it's a double-edged sword.
In sales, we call that a smoke screen.
Word.
It's the smoke screen that you got to weed through to get to the actual truth of it.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. The truth of it is culture appropriation, culture vulture, whatever you want to call it, 110%. This kid... this is why this is my biggest issue with the Paul brothers, my biggest issue with all of this. And I keep saying it. I've said it on this podcast 100,000 times. Boxing comes from the gutter. That is why every boxer you can talk to like Christy Martin, like Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Lennox Lewis, Cesar Chavez. You ask all of these guys, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd fucking Mayweather, everybody, any fighter that you talk.
Don't say his name like you surprised, nigga. You should have said him first.
Well, he comes from.
I won't tolerate no Floyd disrespect.
My asterisk on that is the Floyd story that you get is not necessarily the story that you usually get from people who are sons or nephews of people who came up in the sport.
Yeah,
you
don't normally be better,
right?
Than who they were,
exactly, and it's extremely difficult to do that. But it's also right, very much so, and that's why like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Like that's when I'm kind of alluding that those two too, like the fact that. Yeah. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. came up with kind of a silver spoon in his mouth. His father made all the money in the world in Mexico that you could possibly make. But like, again, what I'm saying is like these guys who don't come up with a silver spoon in their mouth, they make the best fighters of all time, all the time. That's all. Every greatest fighter you could possibly imagine that anybody who's your boxing person, who's your boxing favorite fighter, they came from the gutter. Right. If you didn't come from the gutter, then really you can't have that much longevity in this sport. Plain and simple. It just doesn't happen. Again, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. All of the juniors, everybody's juniors. All of these guys, like if you didn't come from, there was a kid that graduated from Notre Dame. What the fuck was his name? Mike something. Fuck, I forget. But he graduated from Notre Dame. They tried to use that as like a big story for him, and he just got washed. Like he got to the higher ups, and he got fucked up in his weight class. And that's what happens if you don't have that hunger, if you don't have
you got to have a dog in you. Period, man.
Right. If you don't come from nothing, then like you don't last long in the sport, and just calling it what it is. And I'm 110% with you. These kids came from fucking Disney. They came from making millions on YouTube already, and they saw the way to make a bag or to catch a bag, and they're getting to it now. But that is, to me, that's not boxing. That's not where these guys come from. That's not.
Oh no, this isn't that. It's not boxing. We can agree on that. We know that. I think that the intelligent public understands that that's not what this is, and just take it for whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? A promotional company that's being used to shed light on undercards and fighters of the sort. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, and pay someone
and get
someone's
paid.
Bank account, right?
Yeah.
But Jake Paul did beat Tyrone Woodley via split decision, so that is what it is. Jake Paul then took to Twitter after the fact and basically said that he's done with boxing. So we'll find out. All of this conversation may not even be relevant because he may be done with the sport. He may move on to the next thing for him and for his brother and all that. I
mean, when you sell out the arena in your hometown, home state, and you're not even a fighter, that sounds like the pinnacle to me. I mean, what do you do next?
Yeah. From here up, I feel like it's a little bit more dangerous for him, and because no one's gonna accept. Maybe he could get the Tommy Fury fight off and be okay, but after that, no one's gonna accept. Jake Paul versus random YouTuber. No one's gonna accept that. Not even his fans. They're already gonna
push him. They're gonna push him up against a wall,
right? And then after that. Whether he's fighting an actual fighter, like he's going to run out of MMA opponents pretty quickly.
To punch on.
So, Tyrone Woodley said he wants a rematch. I won't pay for it. I won't really pay attention to it, but if that happens, it happens. Who knows?
Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Cultural appropriation, culture vulture type shit.
Go play golf, man.
Go play golf. That's going to be the name of the episode. Let's go play golf. Let's move on to some real fights, sir. What do we got? Oh, okay. So there is a couple things that are coming up here. And if you just tuned in for the Jake Paul conversations, you can probably just move on along and skip to the walkouts for now. Tank versus Rolly is being rumored for December. You heard it here first, people. I'm sick and tired of everyone posting and it being a thing like after we discuss it. So pay attention. Tank.
I like that.
Gervonta Davis versus Rolly Romero.
My guy
is being rumored for December.
I like that.
I'm with it. Listen again. I like Rolly. I think Rolly.
You think he's ready?
No. That's another. Again,
that's the only thing.
That's the only.
I like it. I don't know if I like it right now.
I think Rolly loses definitely to Tank and probably to Devin Haney. And I like Rolly Ramirez. I think he's a great fighter. I like his shit talking. I like his attitude. I like everything about him. He's a good fighter. He's just not good enough to beat those guys yet, in my personal opinion. I don't think so. So
right.
That's being rumored for December. Jerron Boots Ennis taking on Thomas Delorme October 23rd. So we're getting close. We're almost there. But Jerron Ennis is back into the ring. Hopefully, knock on wood, if everybody stays healthy and all of that. October 23rd at the end of next month. So, or this month, next month.
And we got Teofimo.
Teofimo's coming, yes. And then obviously the heavyweight clash.
Yes. Which, by the way, Deontay Wilder is still looking focused. He's still looking like he hasn't lost his stride. Saw him on Instagram today throwing up 350. I don't know what he's doing all his weight training for, but I mean he's throwing up 350 in the gym and just look like he's focused, man.
I'm excited for that fight. I'm holding my breath for it because I'm hoping it happens and we don't run into any more issues and nobody else is sick and nobody else gets COVID and all that shit. I just want to let's get to the fights, man. Let's get to the fights. Conor Benn returns to the ring this weekend, September 4th. He's coming off of a victory from his last fight. That kid he's one of my personal favorite Brits. I
like him. I just wish his name was the opposite way around.
Ben Connor?
Yeah, that just sounds.
You can't do anything when you got two first names. You could go either way. Connor.
Ben Connor is better than Conor Ben, but that's neither here nor there.
And Ebony Bridges. Shout out to Ebony Bridges. Another one. Listen. It's a conversation. I just want to. Well, maybe we'll get back to it. I'll notate it, but. Female fighters.
Just go ahead and say it. Yeah. The female fighters of today don't look like the Christy Martin fighters of the past. I mean, with exclude Layla Ali because she was a fucking phenom all the way around the board. Top dead gorgeous, whatever.
Respectfully.
But now they don't look like they belong in the ring. They used to look, part of the LGBTQ community-esque, big jeans, mullet kind of look.
Yeah, it was it was a different mindset.
That's how a female boxer would look. You know what I mean? More so like
stereotypical
average shit.
Right.
Now you can't tell the difference.
What are they putting in the water, bro?
Yeah,
I don't understand. I don't even want to name names, but a few people know the names that I have.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't make a list of the girls that you want to shout out because that doesn't sound like a good thing.
I don't know what they put in the water. I honestly don't. It's
alkaline.
It must be alkaline. It's all the alkaline. Yeah. It's definitely all the alkaline. Female fighters today are different. Even the MMA. Jesus Christ, especially MMA. Anyways, she fights on the Conor Benn card. Ebony Bridges. She fought. Oh God, she's coming off of a loss on her last fight to Shannon. Fuck, I forget her name. Shannon. The Shannon female fighter who beat her before. I forget her name, but it was a great victory for her. That was a good fight between the two of them. And then, this actually just broke today. Just happened today. Oscar Valdez got pinged. I don't know if you saw it.
Oscar Valdez?
Yeah, Oscar Valdez got pinged for so he's got a fight coming up against a Brazilian gentleman whose last name I'm not even going to remotely try and pronounce. But he got binged for
PEDs.
Yeah, I am not even going to try to pronounce that shit. It's a Phentermine, I think is how you say it. But his team is claiming it is from an herbal tea that he's been drinking. That it is Phentermine or however you say it, is a weight loss supplement, or it can be found in weight loss supplements to help you cut weight. I don't know that we have seen Oscar Valdez have trouble with weight. But I mean, it's kind of on par. It's only half of his sample though. They take like an A sample and a B sample.
Right.
The A sample's from the piss, and I think the B sample's from hair or blood or whatever have you, one of the two. Yeah. But he did get pinged today. So that fight is in jeopardy because that is in a couple of weeks, I think. He's only a couple of weeks out from that fight. And again, that could possibly reshape that weight class, because he's in a weight class with a lot of gentlemen that are troublesome for him. Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney.
Right.
So he got dinged today, so we'll see what happens. I don't know.
But, that's interesting. That's interesting.
So it could change the makeup of that weight division for championship, because he has he's coming off a win where he did win a championship belt. So
Right.
That's it, man.
That's about it.
That's it. That's all I got. I know we went on a couple different rants, but
hey, man, it was slow week in boxing. We had to wait till Sunday to see fights, and it was what it was. I ain't mad at it though.
It is what it is. Again, didn't see these fights, but
I did. Like I said, my stream worked, man. And those of you that know, you know.
Somebody mentioned it, I think, in our comments, one YouTube or fucking Instagram, I don't know, but they definitely mentioned they thanked you for your stream plug that you had. So apparently it works.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Official. So
yeah, man. You got walkouts, sir?
Yeah, I'm still back on that Nas album, man. King's Disease 2. That Death Row East joint.
All right,
walk out to that. I like that joint.
All right, man. Respect to that.
Yes, sir.
Respect to the Nas joint. You know what? I feel like I'm gonna go with the joint that just came out. What is it called? Damn. You might actually be able to help me out here. The new Kendrick and Baby Keem joint that just came out. I've been fucking with that.
Don't know the name of the song, but I know what you're talking about. It's new, so play.
Yeah, it's super new. Here. In the new hotness. Yeah. So that's my walkout today, and it'll be in the whatchamacallit. So,
dope.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
All right. Phantom Punch Podcast, episode 51. It's done. That's it. It's no more to it.
It's no more.
Salute to every fighter that enters the ring, puts their life on the line for the sake of our entertainment, including Jake Paul and the Paul brothers. Till next time, y'all stay safe. Keep your hands up, man. That's all I got for y'all.
Yes, sir.
Protect yourself at all times. All that other fly shit. You know what I'm saying?